Hello, welcome back. This is Jacob, and today we're going to be continuing the file narration series with the characters' voice lines. And in today's episode, we're going to be going over Gumi's file and her voice lines. A quick reminder, we are currently going through the third round of these. Each round has covered operators of the same rarity, going one operator per major category, and then we just keep going downwards. The only other requirements for these are the operators have to have maximum trust, which is required to, whatever maximum trust is required to view the entire file, which for now, is going to be 200%, and maximum promotion rank. So, Gumi, right. We are currently in the tank category. I would just call them, literally just call them tanks. What else am I gonna call them? They take the punches and they sometimes dash them back out. But yeah, I had 3 characters here, and ultimately, if one of these 3 would have had English voice lines just for the purposes of this series, I would have picked them instead of anybody else. But why Gumi? Well, ooh, the deep dankness behind the Children of Ursus. Oh boy. For people who are unaware, Gumi and the rest of her crew, which is the Children of Ursus, aka operators Istina, Rosa, Leto, and Zima, are, well, as the name would suggest, kids who came from Ursus that were, well, in a shitty position after the Ursus uprising that happened in the main storyline of the game. So for you guys who are maybe watching alongside this with the main story narration, yes, this is pretty much connected to all of that is happening there currently. Oh boy, I'm not gonna go into details here, but if you wanna know anything more, either go and look up these Children of Ursus storylines, or at the end of this video, considering she has a operator record, I will link it both in the comments and both in the description and on the ending screen of the video. So feel free to go through that, because she does have moments where she goes from super cheerful to oh boy. Oh boy, that is a depression face, all right. But I want to point out one thing here. So the Children of Ursus, right? Gumi's real name and all the other ones are actually disclosed. So Gumi's real name would be Lada. Istina's real name, the other one, would be Anna Morozova. Rosa's real name would be Natalia Rostova. Leto's real name would be Sonia. And the final one would be... Oh, pardon. Leto would be Rosalind, pardon. And Zima would be Sonia. Totally flopped there. One interesting thing that I would point out of all of them, Leto is the only operator who is not currently available as a playable character. Why not? Who the hell knows? Maybe there's something that's gonna happen in the future. I do want to remind people that, and this is a sad one, but yeah, characters who at any point in the story die, and no, she is not dead in any of the stories so far. Characters who are dead are not operators. Prime example, Frost Nova. Frost Nova accepted to be an operator for Rhode Island, but only in her final moments, and she's not an operator. There are other criterias for someone to become an operator, but yeah, I am sort of concerned. Not gonna lie, knowing the track record of how they choose operators, I am sort of concerned. Also, one thing that is kind of funny and a slight little trivia here. Leto is, from what I've remember, apparently the Russian word for summer, which I should have actually realized considering my own language is Croatian and it's very similar in some aspects. In my own language it would be ljeto, which is just one letter off. And zima is winter. They are, in name at least, polar opposites, even though they have some similarities when it comes to certain design aspects, which is funny. But yeah, enough of that. Gumi as a unit, well, I haven't used her like many others much, considering most of the units that I have currently on E2 I have literally leveled up when they started having operator records. But she is very robust, very tanky, very tough, and both her skills are pretty much situated around healing, which is an interesting aspect. Skill number 1 can pretty much store charges. Skill number 2 is active and keeps healing and makes her super tanky during its duration. It has a bit of a delay to go off, but when it does, it's pretty good. And okay, I cannot be the only one when I read this trait here that says can heal allies by using this skill. Feels like there should be a skill name at the end, but feels a bit broken. I don't know why. I was reading this earlier and I was like, that feels like a broken sentence for some reason, but okay. But yeah, pretty much a straightforward unit. Tanks and heals everybody around her. Very reliable, very useful for lower rarity runs if you need an extra tanky healer on hand. But yeah, anyway, let's get into her file, shall we? Which is, again, a very short file considering she is one of the older units and she's a 4-star, obviously. So, let's begin here. Basic info. Codename, Gummy. Gender, female. Combat experience, none. Place of birth, Ursus. Date of birth, October 2nd. Race, Ursus. Height, 155 centimeters. Very small, which makes sense. She is like 14, I believe? I think? Someone can correct me if they know, actually. I can't remember. I think it gets mentioned somewhere where how old she... They were, I think, middle schoolers, but were they like year 1 or 2? I can't remember. But anyway. Infection status. Medical tests have confirmed that no infection is present. Physical exam. Physical strength, excellent mobility, normal physical resilience, excellent technical acumen, normal, combat skill, normal, and Originium Arts assimilation, normal. Profile. Gummy was once the teenage group runner-up in the Ursus Youth Scout competition. Before the Chernobog incident, she was a middle school student in the city. She is skilled in Ursus-style cooking. In a number of tests, she has exhibited the strength and solid physique characteristic of most Ursus. Gummy has been approved for an internship in a squad of Defender operators. She also provides logistical support and combat culinary services for Rhode Island. Clinical analysis. Imaging tests reveal clear, normal outlines of internal organs, and no abnormal shadows have been detected. Originium granules have not been detected in the circulatory system, and there is no sign of infection. At this time, this operator is believed to be non-infected. Cell Originium fusion rate 0%, operator shows no signs of infection at this time. Blood crystal density 0.12 units per liter. This operator's blood crystal density is well within expected ranges. Again, I think I did it in previous videos, but I want to just remind people that even if someone is not infected, they will still always have traces of Originium in their blood because they are just surrounded by it. That's impossible to avoid. It's like if you go to your doctor, he takes a blood sample and you tell him before he even does the test, "Oh, I can assure you 100% I do not have microplastic in my blood." And he's just gonna look back at you like, "Uh-huh? Yeah, sure." Sure, buddy. But yeah, originium in blood is unavoidable, at least the micro elements, but that's just how the world works. And how our world also works to some extent, right? But yeah, continuing. Archive file number 1. On the 5 inductees she joined with, Gummy is the one most energetically trying to integrate into the culture of Rhode Island. She skillfully converts ingredients into cooking materials and has used her vigorous Ursus manner to convert the kitchen into a battleground of sorts. Gummy's Gummy's cooking doesn't quite satisfy the taste of those accustomed to the food of other races and nations, and she has neither the experience nor the interest to be our main chef. But the fresh dynamism of Ursus cooking has become an irreplaceable part of Rhode Island's culinary culture. One day's breakfast menu: Yakulovich red sausage with garlic, Ursus-style boiled beans, soft oatmeal bread, and fermented yogurt. The taste is said to be exquisite. Archive file number 2. Gummy is lively, kind, and pure. She always speaks from the heart and has a genuine desire to please everyone. Gummy trusts her leader, Zima, implicitly. She has actively tried to create a jubilant atmosphere for the Ursa student self-governing group, and has tried to put to rest some of the unease the Ursa students have felt since the Chernobog incident. Gummy firmly believes that integrating into Rhode Island is the proper course of action and is amiable towards all of Rhode Island operators. Physical counselors sent by the medical team have confirmed a hypothesis. Gummy is working and making connections as a way of managing her anxiety. Over several consultations, Gummy has not yet disclosed what the other members of the student union experienced during the Chernobog incident. Archive file number 3. Gummy was born in the city of Chernobog in the Empire of Ursus. Her parents are currently employed elsewhere. Gummy participated in Chernobog's local youth scout group and achieved outstanding results in its events and competitions. There is reason to believe that Gummy's survival and rescue skills have their roots in this experience. When Gummy first joined Rhode Island, she carried all kinds of equipment that she had found in ruins following the Chernobog incident. And speaking of equipment that she found along the way, I don't know how I missed this. I think I noticed it, but I didn't pay too much attention to it. But yes, her shield is a vault door, as in the door of a big safe. And she carries that. Well, the people of this world are just built differently, right? So yeah, also the little thing here where her psychological counselor pretty much said that she is managing her own anxiety by making connections and just being amongst people. Yeah, that's pretty much a normal thing for stuff like that. Also, this very first line of the archive file number 2, Gummy is lively, kind, and pure, pretty much just shows why out of all of the kids, she has probably, well, next to Istina, she has probably the most noticeable change in demeanor once certain things around her start changing. Well, her most depicted trigger to go into like a full PTSD depression mode is lack of food. If there is a food shortage around her, oh boy, her demeanor changes. Oof. But more about that in her operator records, which again will be linked at the end of the video and in the description. But yeah, right now we're gonna go into the voice files. Again, only Japanese voices here. Well, she does have Chinese, but I'm gonna stay on the Japanese ones for the purposes of these videos. So I'm gonna mute myself and I'll see you at the end of this.
ドクター、今腹ペコでしょ。遠くからでも聞こえちゃったよ。雷みたいに響くドクターのお腹の音。この盾軽く持ち上げられるよ。よいしょ。ほらね。ああ、落としたりなんてしないから、そんなに逃げなくても大丈夫だよ。街を壊した悪い人たち、やっぱり許せない。グムが全部このフライパンでやっつけるんだから。ゼマーお姉ちゃんはグムのこと守るって言うんだけど、グムは甘く見すぎ。ここに逃げる途中、グムはこの盾で何度もみんなを守ってるんだよ。盾じゃなくて扉？そんなわけないでしょ。もうドクターまでそんなこと言って。ドクター、グムの作った料理が食べたいの？もうすぐできるよ。グムね、クロージャのお姉ちゃんに支援部食堂のバイトを申請したんだ。じゃーん、グム特製ベーコンエッグだよ。どう？おいしい？戦闘中の火加減は難しいけど、普段はバッチリだからね。グムたち5人はね、最初から一緒にいたわけじゃないんだよ。グムはいつも楽しそうって？本当はね、あんな光景を見てたら楽しくなんてできるわけないよ。でもお姉ちゃんたちにあの辛い過去を早く忘れてほしいから、グムはいっぱい笑ってあげなきゃ。グムね、本当は何度もお父さんやお母さんを探しに行こうと思ったんだ。でもね、もし今みんなから離れたら、グム何にもできなくなる気がするんだ。だからドクター、お願い。グムに食事の支度だけじゃなくて戦い方も教えて。ドクター、寝ちゃった？ちょっとだけここで本読んでてもサボりにはならないよね。グムっていうの君がドクターだね。ロドスのみんなと一緒にグムたちを助けてくれたこと、本当に感謝してるよ。グムに特別な力はないけど、できることは精一杯やってドクターの力になるよ。力が湧いてきたよ。これならドクターだって持ち上げられるかも。昇進したらグムはロドスの三つ星シェフかな、なんちゃって本当はね、料理の他にもやってみたいことがたくさんあるんだ。でも今のグムにはそんな力ないから、ドクターの言う通りにするよ。グム、準備完了。グムが隊長なの？ドクター、グムたちの帰りを待っててね。グム、怖くないよ。グムにやらせて。グムがやるよ。位置についたよ。グムがみんなを守る。グムの特製料理だよ。おいしいもの食べよ。みんなお腹すいた？元気出して。敵の人、そろそろ投降した方がいいよね。だってドクターがいてくれればグムたちは絶対負けないもん。本当はここまで徹底的にやるつもりなかったんだ。でも戦わないとグムたちがやられちゃうんだよ。勝ててよかったね。グム嬉しいよ。みんなの怪我はグムがなんとかするよ。ドクターは大丈夫なの？わーい、おっきい部屋、人がいっぱい入れそうだね。ドクター、グムの料理がいくら美味しいからって食べ過ぎちゃダメだからね。太っちゃうよ。アークナイツ、ドクター、なんか食べる？
Alright, and there we have it. That would be all. But yeah, oh boy, even in the voice files you can see how much she is at certain points forcing out her cheerful side compared to other operators. I think here in the sub 3-star, even if it's sub 3-star, most operators like lament that either enemies got away or something, and she's full on cheerful, unless the operation failure one is kind of standard. And I think it's, well, which one was it again? Yeah, Trust 2 is probably one of those that just showcases how much of it isn't really a persona, because I think, if I remember right, she was already this cheerful before the Ursus incident. If I remember certain lines from her companions, her friends. But yeah, Trust 2 is also one of those that just shows how much of how much more it's now like she is forcing it out and not just being the cheerful self that she always was. And finally, how many of these did just start with Gumu? Oh my god. So many voice lines start with the same, with her own name. Oh boy. But yeah, once again, if any of you are interested to read here and see more of the Children of Ursus stories, some of them have operator records, and those, well, I have every single one of them as of this recording before they start adding new ones. So if you want to watch them, you can find them on the playlist on this channel. Gummies will be linked once again if you want to see that one. Istina had hers recently, and yeah, there's much more. And also, like I said, if you want to know more, go and look up the rest of the information on the Children of Ursus, either in their story or the wiki pages or stuff like that, because there is a lot of stuff, and it's, oh boy. Oh boy, it's something. Oof. But yeah, anyway, as always, I hope you all have a great day. This has been Jacob with another file narration, and I'll see you in the next one. So until then, bye bye.